Welcome everybody to the newest, greatest, most recent episode of Wealth for Generations. We're on season 2, episode 15, and I'm pretty excited about today because it is some more like 7 degrees of separation type stuff going down today, and I love it when that happens within this valley and within the community and just this community as far as the community itself and in the community of the entrepreneurs and vendors and things of that nature. But I'm very excited to get into this one. We got some stuff, some gems as usual we're going to have for you guys. And we do have a special guest for you today. Yes, that's part of the reason why I'm kind of excited. But without any further ado, let's get into some introductions. First and foremost, we have the current reigning champ, Mr. Engineer of all engineers. We have James Marrero holding it down for us. How's it going? How you doing today, sir?
I'm good. Chilling.
Awesome. Glad that you can make it. Glad you're chilling. And then second over here to my left, we have the Powerhouse 5150 herself, Miss Brittany holding it down, Miss Entrepreneur Extraordinaire. Let's give a round of applause for her. How are you doing today, Miss Brittany?
Good. Excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really pumped.
No problem. Glad you could make it and be here with us, spend some time.
Mm-hmm.
Brittany holding it down. Always. Sorry if you guys heard that. I always got to double check that audio real quick. But yes, glad you could make it and spend some time with us today and drop some gems and talk about what you got going on. But without any further ado, let's get into the first segment of the show, which is one of my favorites. Hopefully it's becoming one of yours as well. It is the Health is Wealth segment. The Health is Wealth segment is brought to you by Jessica Marrero and Christina Rose of Elevated Souls. They say that we are here to elevate your soul. You can reach them at 480-269-2649, or you can follow them on the IG, Instagram at ELIVE, the number 8, D_SOULS. Today, let's see what they have for us today. They got, by a show of hands, who's familiar with yoga? Awesome. I'm sure that you guys are probably familiar out there with some yoga. Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry. My behind the scenes Instagram people, we never went live. So you guys are coming in a little late, but that's okay. But yes, pretty sure all you guys at least have heard of. Oh no, not that one. The behind the scenes one. I'm not sure. I didn't even double check with you on that one. I'm confident that you got that part taken care of. I dropped the ball. But yes, so yoga. We're talking about yoga today. So Health is Wealth is where we turn ancient wisdom into modern gold. Because let's face it, wealth is useless if your back is screaming louder than your bank account. Today we're talking about yoga. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, Elijah, I can't even sit crisscross. Me either. I got knees and stuff. Yeah. Let me tell you, yoga is not just for the ultra bendy or those influencers who seem to have no bones. Like that one guy. I don't know if you guys seen that one guy on Instagram. He's always like, stay bendy.
What?
That dude is ridiculous. You
No
familiar with him?
Stay flexy.
Or flexy. Yeah.
Yes.
That dude is ridiculous.
Really?
Like, and he looks like no disrespect, bro. No disrespect. But to the naked eye, he looks like a little nerd dude.
Uh-huh.
But he is like gymnastic extraordinaire. Like, yeah, he's super flexible and body weight is like phenomenal, or body weight strength is phenomenal. But anyways, sorry, I get a little sidetracked sometimes. So it's not just for the influencers who seem like they have no bones. Yoga is for everyone. Yes, everyone. Yes, even you, the guy over there, you who just pulled a muscle when you're reaching out for your phone because it was ringing. Yeah, it's for you as well. But let's talk about the physical health benefits. Let's start with the physical perks of yoga, aka why does my body hurt less now? Because you're working with your flexibility. You'll go from I can't touch my toes to look at me folding like a human pretzel. Okay, maybe not overnight, but progress, increments. It helps. Strength. It's not all about bending. Yoga builds strength, serious strength, and it's what I like to call is like the old man strength. Yeah, I mean for you females, old woman strength, if that makes sense. but you get that core strength that like stays with you forever when you do these kind of exercises. So especially in your core, think of it as the most peaceful six-pack workout you'll ever do. Joint health. Got creaky knees or cranky shoulders? Yoga is like WD-40 all up in your joints. You can call me the Tin Man and just posture. Yoga will call you out for slouching harder than your mom used to at the family dinner. But it also helps with your lung capacity. Those deep breathing exercises, they'll have you going from wheezing on the stairs to channeling your inner marathon runner. And let's not forget, you might accidentally burn some calories and boost your metabolism in the process. So you know what that means for you people worried about your weight. Metabolism goes up, weight goes down. Bonus points. If you can do this without face planting during Warrior 3, sorry, I don't even know what that is. Sometimes stuff just gets thrown in there. So
It's all good.
yeah, roll with the punches, you know what I mean? Roll with the punches. Mental and emotional benefits. But yoga isn't just about fixing your posture or figuring out how to twist like a Twizzler. Let's talk about the real MVPs. No, seriously, the real MVPs. Mental and emotional benefits. Stress relief. Yoga activates your chill mode, aka there we go again. Thanks, ladies. AKA the parasympathetic nervous system. Ooh, I think I got it on the
Good
first
job,
try.
Scott.
Good one.
Got it on the first try. Boom. 25-cent word. But it's like hitting the pause button on all that chaos in your head. Mental clarity. Suddenly, you remember where you left your keys and maybe even why you walked into the room in the first place. You wanted the socks with the polka dots on them, the pink ones. Exactly why you walked in there. Anxiety relief. That deep breathing stuff. No, seriously, that really helps. It really you don't even got to be stretching. Deep breathing just it helps. Definitely. It's like turning down the volume on your brain's constant what if playlist. And we all have a what if playlist. All of us. Some of us control it better than others, but we all got it.
Mhm.
Mood boost. Yoga helps bump up the serotonin, the feel good hormone, and kicks cortisol to the stress goblin to the curb. And if you've ever struggled with sleep, yoga's got your back. Literally, those relaxing poses are basically the adult version of bedtime story. And then last but not least, we got spiritual benefits. Now let's get into a little Zen. Yoga isn't just about physical and mental health, it's also about connecting with yourself on a deeper level. Inner peace. You know that moment when your favorite song comes on, or you smell your favorite smell. That's a good one. I know everybody's got that smell, and you're just like cilantro.
Cilantro.
Sorry, I'm a little different, but cilantro smells
Oh my
delicious.
god.
It's delicious. But I done lost my place.
Got too excited for cilantro.
I did. It's cilantro, man. It's cilantro. Yoga gives you that minus the Bluetooth struggles. Energy flow. Feeling like your chakras are more clogged than your sink drain, yoga helps unblock all that energy and get you flowing again. Self-love. It's hard to hate your body when you're spending time accepting what it can do, even if what it can do is just sitting in child's pose. Not sure what that one is, but it's probably better than what I can do. Maybe. How to incorporate yoga into your life. Okay, so now you're thinking, Elijah, this sounds great and all, but how do I even start without looking like a baby giraffe? Easy. You can start in small increments. Like I said, increments are your friend. Try 10 minutes of basic poses on YouTube. Trust me. No, seriously, trust me. YouTube is like the encyclopedias for all you like 25 and younger people. An encyclopedia is a book where we can talk about it later. But yeah, you can do it in small increments in 10 minutes, and you can use YouTube to figure out what poses you want to get into. And trust me, nobody's watching you except maybe your dog or the cat or the nosy neighbor. Breathe. Yoga's biggest secret is the breath work. And like I said before, breath work works over so many levels. But you can even do this at your desk. Just try not to like fall asleep and start snoring too loud. Be consistent. A few minutes a day beats an hour once a month. Think of yoga as your body's favorite snack. It's better in a regular dose. So, may I ask, Brittany, are you doing anything right now, or are you ever incorporated yoga into your lifestyle?
I used to do it back in the day when I was
Oh.
young and limber and all that fun stuff. But I'm definitely, now that I know all those benefits, I definitely want to take that up because I need to
get it
my
back
ass
in there.
down. Yeah.
So are you familiar? Do you remember any of the poses or anything? Do you know, is child pose a hard one? Is that a hard one?
I want to say the child pose
No.
is literally sitting. I thought.
Oh, is it just sitting?
You just like curl
Okay.
up into a ball and put your arms out.
Okay, that works too.
Okay, I could do that one. Then. I
No,
think I can
yeah,
do that.
downward dog. That one's a good one too.
That one's a good
That's
one.
good for your lower back.
I'm not sure what that one is, but I hear that one a lot. That's like one of the most popular ones, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I definitely need to get some more stretching and maybe some yoga. Maybe I'll look into some yoga. But I've always been kind of into deep stretching and breathing and not necessarily breath work per se, but concentrating on my breathing and things of that nature. But that is going to wrap it up for the Health is Wealth for today. Yoga isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Whether you're a total beginner or already a downward dog pro. See, told you it was popular. There's a place for you on that mat. Brittany, thanks for entertaining us with your thanks for entertaining my yoga pitch. Sorry.
No problem.
Not your yoga pitch.
No,
It's
no.
my yoga pitch. But yeah, so we're going to wrap that up for the Health is Wealth. And listeners too, at the end of the Health is Wealth, what we're doing now, make sure you guys chime in. Let us know. Are you already incorporating yoga into your life? Do you have some tips on how to incorporate yoga into your life? Go ahead and chat up, hit us up, and maybe we'll give you a shout out next week on the show if you give us some good info. But that is going to wrap it up today for the Health is Wealth. Or actually, I'm sorry, I almost missed out, James. So, sir, do you practice any yoga, or do you think you might be incorporating some yoga into your life after this little sales pitch here?
When I first arrived here after a long time, I started doing yoga.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, in high school, I had a class where I did yoga, and I had to make a 45-minute yoga session for the class for my final. So I remember most of the poses and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. So what they had you be set up the class if you were the instructor?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. So yes, people, if you're interested, you can hit up definitely Brittany or James, and they'll tell you all about it. Or YouTube, whatever works best, whatever you're most comfortable with. But we're going to roll into the next segment, and that is going to be Asking the Masses. So if you're new to this, Asking the Masses is when I go to the enters of net, the socials of media, and ask you guys a good old question. And normally it's pertaining to the special guest or the topic of the day, but I'm not sure if you guys do know, but it's January 2025. We're in a brand new year.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like sending out good vibes and keeping things positive. So this week it's 2025. Let's celebrate. What goals did you accomplish in 2024? So would you like to go first, or should I hit up the social media and see what they said? Or
I can't say social media, but I'll chime in if I need to.
Okay. So we'll hit up the social media. We had shout out to Julian Smart. He said didn't give up. And that's a good one and a deep one all at the same time. I mean, sorry. But yes, that's a very good one. Shout out to my special co-host. She's been in here a couple of times, Miss Leonie. She said I didn't punch anyone in the face.
Nice.
And that's a good one. You got kids, you don't want to get any jail time or anything like that. No good time to start a record when you got a family. And then also too, I replied to this one. I thought it was kind of funny. I told her that because I know Leonie, so I'm like, man, you've been at the gym holding it down as a gym rat for a minute, so she might knock a motherfucker out. Like if she's she's a gym rat nowadays, ladies. So be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful. She probably got some power behind that punch. And then we got Jessica Marrero, my lady. One half of the Elevated Souls. She said her goal that she accomplished was getting Elevated Souls into stores. And I said, heck yes, because she did that. And that is awesome. Even though, she had to bug her about it for a minute. But it's done. It's got done. So also we had Shanier Owens, that was an old guest we had. Shout out to Shanier Owens. If you guys need a house, hit him up. He's a realtor we had on a while ago. But he said for 2024, he sold 15 homes and put 9 first-time buyers in their first home. So actually, I want to give a round of applause for that one, because that is 9 dreams that he made come true. being a first time buyer, you know, that's a dream right there. And Mr. Chenier Owens, he came through and made that dream obtainable for these people. So that's all I had for the socials of medias. Did James or Brittany, did one of you guys want to go first or anything? Or
I graduated college.
yeah, that deserves an applause as well. Congratulations, sir.
And I freaking came here after so long. It's been 7 years.
Came back home. Yep. That's good too. That's good as well. Heck yeah. And then I didn't even think about one actually.
I know, like, what about you?
I forgot about thinking about one. Shoot. I don't know. I didn't give up either. No, I can't piggyback off of him. But gosh. I got my family to Mexico.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah. There was a if you guys been following along the whole time, you might know some of that story. But yeah, I got my family to Mexico, my household. We got to go to Mexico for our family trip in 2024. So yeah, that's a good one.
Have fun.
That's a good one, yeah. And it was their my son and Jess, it was their first time or their second time. Everybody else, it was their first time. So it was good. It was their first time for us to go as a whole family like that. But yeah, that's my entry. That's my entry. What about you, Miss Brittany?
I got an apartment. And what was it?
Oh,
yeah,
awesome. That's a big one right there.
It's all mine, so that's pretty dope.
Nice. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
But yep, so that's gonna wrap it up for the Asking the Masses. We had a pretty decent turnout this time. So if you guys are interested in getting a shout out and your stuff on the air, make sure you look out for Asking the Masses. I usually post it on my personal Facebook, Elijah Lee, but I always tag the podcast page as well. So it should be popping up on both. And if you want to put in an entry and get a shout out, stay tuned and pay attention for next week. Do your due diligence. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for Asking the Masses. And now we're rolling into the wealthy wisdom, or as I like to call it, the meat and potatoes. And the meat and potatoes. So today we are with, hold on, did I? Okay, no, I thought I've changed this. I did change this. Whoopsie. I added something and forgot to delete the other thing. So I was like, wait a second, that's not what I'm supposed to say right now. All right, today we have Wealthy Wisdom. Today we have a guest who is the walking definition of hustle, heart, and healing. Straight out of California. Now, now making waves in Phoenix, Arizona. She is a certified boss with more titles than 2 short albums. Let me break it down for you. Brittany, aka 5150, is the founder of 5150 Ganja Girls, a certified woman-owned online smoke shop that's all about elevating medicated women. But wait, there's more. There's always more. In the same year, she launched not one, but 2 other ventures, an event business called Boutique 5150 and her nonprofit, the 5150 Social Club. During the pandemic of all times, while some were at home binge watching Netflix, Brittany was out here collecting she was out here collecting certificates like XP points. Event planner certificate, check. Cannabis Training University certificate, check. All while teaching herself Photoshop, photography, and web design. Talk about leveling up while on lockdown. Her nonprofit is dedicated to promoting mental health awareness and hosting community outreach programs, raising funds for causes like autism awareness. Oh, and last but definitely not least, she's the host of Vendor Vision Podcast. On her show, she highlights local vendors, small business owners, and artists while giving us the behind the scenes of being an entrepreneur in this great valley. She's a triple threat businesswoman, mental health advocate, and community leader. So buckle up for Miss Brittany, aka 5150. Actually, got that one. My timing's off.
There you go.
All right. So this is Miss Brittany. Everybody, welcome to the show. I know we welcomed you already, but yes, this is the meat and potatoes where we get to know Miss Brittany now. Okay, so we got some questions for you, and feel free to reply. However, this is an organic kind of neighborhood over here, so if you feel the need to throw in any explicit words, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say,
Go
I'm
ahead.
like,
We're all
you're trying
adults.
to monetize me, so I'm trying to say too much.
So let's start off with the origin story. Let's take it
Mm.
back. What inspired you to launch the 5150 Ganja Girls and your event business at the same time? Was it passion, timing, or a little bit of beautiful chaos?
Well, I mean, shoot, it's always about chaos in my life. That's kind of what that 5150 stands for. Since I am from California, a 5150 is a penal code out there where you may or may not have committed a crime allegedly, but because of your mental state at the time, they don't really put you in jail. They kind of see what's up, and they put you in a nice little padded room so you can calm down and really reflect on what you did, and if you're having a bad day that day. So because cannabis helped me with my anxiety, my sleep, major sleep issues I had, and a bunch of other mental health things I was taking for prescriptions for and everything like that, like big pharma and everything. Like I really wanted to incorporate how cannabis needs to be looked at more as a medicine instead of like a recreational drug or the negative stereotypes of that. And I wanted it to be taken as easily as someone having a beer or a glass of wine or whatever to calm themselves down after a hard day. I wanted to do that, and when I went to an event actually in the cannabis industry, hosted by females in the industry, have been medicating themselves and their moms or business owners themselves. They threw events, and there was a big need where they were having a lot of problems finding venues and whatnot, and needing help organizing, getting volunteers, and it just popped in my head like, oh my gosh, I want to be a part of this. I want to be helpful. If I see a need for something, like I just want to do whatever I can to fill that need. So I wanted to do both. Like I wanted to be a vendor. I wanted to be in their events and stuff and get known and learn about how women are in this industry and meet new friends, everything. So it kind of came. First was a smoke shop to be a vendor at these events, and then helping out with the event itself. Like I'm really good at organizing things and telling people where to go and what to do and all that fun stuff, and just helping out, whether it's as a venue owner or a just the host of the party, to keep the main person able to schmooze and talk to their guests and whatnot. I can do all the back story stuff to make it go off without hitch.
So then what's, just to clarify for everybody, what's the difference between the 5150 Ganja Girls and the boutique? The boutique is the event planning, right?
Yeah.
And then the Ganja Girls is what?
Smoke shop.
It's a smoke shop. Okay. And then what kind of it's an online smoke shop?
Yeah. So I was doing, before COVID, I was doing in-person events. I would just I got my license, got everything all legalized and whatnot, and then a wholesale bought really specific what girls would like type things, like the sparkly pipes that you only see at smoke shops, and just very I curated everything. And then so I set up my table with things that are discreet, so women who have children, women who have judgy families, all that stuff. There's bongs that you can smoke out of that look like vases. You would never know. And so that was kind of my niche in the cannabis industry, was finding something that for girls, because everything's you can get those little fake plastic, not fake, but the plastic pipes that are look like ducks or whatever, and that's cute and all, but to have something gorgeous and to have something that you're proud to smoke out of, and to have something that you can put on your counter, leave it out, and no one's gonna know that you're smoking
cute
out
and
of that.
practical.
Yes.
And sneaky.
Exactly. So, but the issue with trying to do everything right and doing all of my research to start my own business, because this is my first time starting a business, I found out that just because of the name with the ganja in it, even though it comes from India and their heritage and culture and whatnot, it automatically blacklisted me from getting any kind of assistance, whether it's just advice from business programs or whatever. They didn't want anything to do with me. So, and I knew I couldn't call my event planning business the 5150 Ganja Girls. That's more of those are more the people behind the event, or or during the event, just that's more of a brand of people versus like an actual location or service or, the store or whatever that like, cause that was my end goal was to have a venue of myself to have all these events at, and whatnot. So I wanted to call it, that'd be like more of a store name versus the country.
For sure.
That's kind of the difference.
That's awesome. So that's how you got started. So before when we talked, you mentioned that you moved from California to Phoenix, and it opened up some doors for your businesses. What type of opportunities did you see in this city that you have taken advantage of?
A lot. Actually, I've moved originally it was California to Tucson, and then I was only in Tucson for like a year when I found out about there was actually like it's called Women's Grow, and it's like for like powerful women, basically. Like it's like the higher elevated business. They already were business owners. They have their own thing. They own dispensaries and that like on that level.
Nice.
So they really encouraged me. They originally inspired me about like Pink Kush and all the other brands that were in the industry, and they came to Tucson, but they were really originally in Phoenix. So when I met those people, they were just visiting, and then they all went to Phoenix, and that's where all the events were. Like Tucson had like one place that people would hang out with, but like no one was really doing anything. Everybody from Tucson would travel up to Phoenix. So it was a no brainer. Like if I wanted to set up for events, if I wanted to get my brand out there, I had to be at these events. So and I had to be closer.
That makes sense. Yeah, we got a lot going on out here in the cannabis industry, man. It's like almost everywhere you drive, you stick your head out the window, you're like,
right?
Yep, there's another dispensary up, or somebody smoking or something.
Yes.
Like, yep, somewhere. Like, so leveling up during lockdown, during COVID, you were out here stacking certificates and sharpening your skills. How did those new talents like event planning and web design help elevate your hustle?
So since I was new and I was doing in-person events to start my business, and COVID didn't allow events anymore. So how can I have an event business and be at an event if there's no events happening?
Right.
So I kind of took event planning apart and was like, okay, what does it take to have a good event? Like, what do you need to get people there, to want them to stay there? What do you want to have for vendors to like want to sign up? They can't just be like, hey, we're having a party at this place at this time, show up. You need something to draw people, and you need like what makes the event. Like you need your DJ, you need your food vendors, you need merch vendors and stuff like that, because ultimately like that my business was to help small businesses, entrepreneurs, even like musicians, food truck people, whatever, just give them that opportunity to elevate their business as well. So because I couldn't do that in person anymore, I was like, okay, well, flyers are in the cannabis industry were trash unless it's from like the dispensaries hosting things. Like people just don't realize like, hey, how people are gonna come over if they don't know the address? Like how are you gonna know if they don't know the time or the this, that, and the other? So they're just like having something that draws people's attention to it, like, oh man, that flyer looks dope, that gets my attention right off the bat. And then to promote what's there, hey, DJ, I forgot what, Blended High Life was like the main DJ for cannabis, and he was amazing. And his wife Ricky, she was in the industry as well, working at a dispensary. So like everybody knew her because of that, and so that helped. So like getting like your core people when it comes to events is really important. And so I worked on that, and I can't even draw a stick figure. So like I knew, and obviously everything's digital nowadays. So I was like, okay, here you go. And before events were shut down, like I was a vendor, but then like sometimes I would rather get to know people and like get to know the people to see who I want at my events. So I would offer to be the photographer at these events. And so I start off like just taking pictures of my phone, blah blah, and then so once a COVID happened, then I was like, I'm gonna get a real camera and I'm gonna learn how to use it, because it's way different than having it on your phone. And just stuff like that. And I want to know what I'm talking about, and I don't know everything, and I'm okay to admit that. And so that's why I researched everything. I got my certificate, because I'm also downtime. Hello, you know what I mean? And also during that time, that's when I offered business services instead. So these brands that had a little bit of money because of the stipend and everything like that, I was like, hey, let me add you to my website. And I learned how to do it through Wix, and they have a really good template with stuff. It's kind of like pick and drop, or drop and choose, however you want to say it.
Copy paste
that type of thing. And so I was like, I offered to host it on my platform at first and for free, and just be like, hey, like just shout me out or whatever, just because I know people don't have a lot of money and people are struggling even before COVID, and I'm not there to like I mean, everybody's there to make money, but like I'm new, you're new, let's help each other out, and also help me. That's how I elevated myself more, is just by getting to know people, offering something that no one else was, and just like filling that need that people may or may not have even known that needed.
Awesome. Yes, that's a great answer. So along to the nonprofit connection, tell us about the 5150 Social Club. How does it connect to your entrepreneur journey, and what impact has it made so far?
So that one is my still in like the baby development. Just because I started my first event kind of like towards the not end, but like when they started allowing us to have a little bit of freedom and everything like that, with the social distancing and like where you could hang out but not really hang out. I'm like, oh, I want to jump on that, because before it was just like the idea and like a social media page and like getting having a platform for people to talk about mental health, talk about how they helped, or how cannabis helped them. I also was part of the Black Lives Matter march down to was it city? Not City Hall. Was it City Hall? Like the main. What's that place called? Like the main building. I think it was City Hall. But how they did that whole march downtown and everything. Like I was part of that. That Vanessa Guillen mural that was done on like 16th and Mojave. There's like that movement when that soldier got murdered. Sorry, I'm like kind of graphic. Got murdered.
Either.
Oh yeah, so it's like I was part of like this, like those two experiences specifically made me want to add that community outreach program type thing to my the nonprofit with the mental health, because I feel like that those two instances affected everybody's mental health, especially when COVID and all that stuff. Like all I had, everybody was just sitting at home thinking, sitting at home dwelling on things, thinking, or going through stuff like with their families, and being some people had lived by themselves and couldn't go out with their friends, or some people were living with people that they needed break from and going to work and stuff like that. And so I just felt like, why not incorporate that? And so I made my nonprofit, like, got the 501(c)(3)s, made that legal, learned how to fundraise, like the back end story. And so like when we were allowed to do some stuff, I had a friend who has a niece who's autistic, and we have a known, like, not, I wouldn't say influencer, but he's just known for having autism and going through I forgot exactly what, I can't remember the name, but there's like some program in Arizona where it's like they teach people with autism to how to live on their own, pay their bills and stuff. And he was part of the first graduating class of that program. So I had met him as a guest speaker for the fundraising event that originally started with my friend's niece, and we did like a bike ride, like ride for autism type thing with the kids, get the kids incorporated and everything, and like had a jumpy house and vendors and all that stuff, just because I wanted the people to have like a community and know that they weren't alone and stuff. So that kind of helps with and just like I said, with the mental health part of the cannabis from my other business and stuff, like just mental health in general is like huge. And so the 5150, like I just want everything to be branded and marketed correctly, I guess.
Right. No, I get it for sure. So that's different. You are definitely a bit different. You've helped out with the autistic awareness, and then you also I'm sorry, you said you did a fundraiser, the bike. No, it was all the same thing.
Yeah, it was all the same thing. Yeah.
So how did that work? They like so many miles you ride, and then it gets donated to.
Yeah, just people who want to be involved, and people wanted to donate and have like it's the 50/50 raffle, where it's like they put in, like they buy raffle tickets, and then they get if they get their number called, then they get half that pot and stuff, and then then that person donated that money to that to part was my awareness for the kids, to give them this opportunity to ride around with their friends. It wasn't like they didn't have to do a bunch of miles. They wasn't pledging, nothing like that. Having them be involved, like, hey, this is something that, they could do with some of their issues and stuff, with like the being sensitive to certain things, nonverbal people. Like it didn't matter. It wasn't a talking tech thing. You know what I mean? Like you just ride your bike like a normal kid, but yet it kind of had a different meaning, because it was like, look what they're normal kids and stuff, So it was just an opportunity to get the kids involved and stuff, and then also just raise money, and then also the guest speaker who graduated from that program to get that message out and get more people involved with that program too.
That's a real good one. That's nice. That's nice. I really like that one. Are you planning on doing more in that field, or you want to get into other nonprofit awareness?
I haven't decided yet, really. I'm kind of I took a break a little while. I was dealing with some stuff over the past year that kind of derailed, actually 2 years. I kind of put my stuff on hold and did another opportunity, I guess, to elevate a business and get out in a different industry. I was messing with the food industry there for a little bit. So I focused on that a lot, and that kind of put my stuff on hold. Plus, the cannabis industry after COVID just wasn't the same anymore, and a lot of people fell off during COVID. Like all the like a lot of the influencers dipped out, moved to different states. They just didn't know what to do with themselves anymore because they couldn't do what they knew. What they they'd stand there and be cute at a booth. Well, you couldn't do that anymore. So now they're like, I need to find a normal job, or dip out and take care of themselves. So like that, getting out of the cannabis industry temporarily was like kind of forced on me ish in a way. So I couldn't really do my 5150 Ganja Rules vendor setup. So, and I focused more on the event part a little bit with setting up for the food truck and everything, and getting to know the food industry, and then networking with those people and seeing what events they are doing and everything, since there weren't that many events in the cannabis industry anymore. If they were, it was like way too expensive as a vendor. Like they were involved with dispensaries, so like they had their money, they had their people, they had their ways of doing things that they had to deal with legality stuff. So I was like, no, that's not really my style anymore. So just focusing more on what the event planning offers for small businesses kind of is more what I've been focusing on, and just getting more involved with networking people and seeing a need with them, like helping out people with merch, logo design, all that stuff, which helps with my Photoshop skills. But when it comes to my nonprofit, it's been put on hold. I still want to do community outreach stuff. It just hasn't had the opportunity so much because I don't have my team anymore, because everybody kind of had to do their thing.
Yeah.
And as much as I can do stuff on my own, there's some things where I'm just like, I need people too, So I'm just kind of finding the right. It takes time to find the right people. I definitely don't want to rush it. So I'm just kind of like taking it easy. That's why I'm helping out with like Live Ride podcast, and then Cindy Lopez's event that's today from 12 to 5. You guys are down, helping out in the lowrider community more and stuff, and getting involved with those people, the people that I interviewed with Vendor Vision, getting to know them and what they're up to and what they need, and just kind of like getting in where I fit in, I guess. It's
nice.
my jam.
And I'm glad you actually bring up the part about knowing that you can't do it all. So one of my questions actually is, what is one thing that you had to be brutally honest with yourself after becoming an entrepreneur and getting into this businesswoman life?
That I have to talk to people. Like literally, my brand can't get out there, and I can't make sales, and I can't do what I gotta do and make money, and ultimately, like, be a business owner, not have to work for anybody unless I talk. Like I'm very shy as a human being. I stutter when I get nervous. Like it's a whole vibe, but like it's gotten easier over the years, but that's always been like, I get so nervous, even being like when I got asked to host like Vendor Vision, when I just wanted to come out with an idea, thought that they were just going to do another segment or whatever. Like, no, you want to host it since it's your idea? You want to host it? I'm like, what? No. Like I'm behind the scenes. Like I like to boss people around behind it. I don't want to have to, play 21 questions and stuff like that. But I was like, this is an opportunity. There's a reason why. Like I saw that post asking for, ideas about new podcasts. There's a reason why I know these guys beforehand, and this could be my next step. So I just had to, really be honest with myself and be like, dude, the worst thing that people can say to you, well, I mean, there's plenty of things people can say to you, but like the worst thing in business sense is no. Like,
right.
And you go, well, you don't get told no now. Well, maybe later. Maybe you need to try harder. Maybe it's not your right time, So, and you just have to be okay with it, like getting told no, and letting that push you towards working harder, or perhaps pivoting, because there's nothing wrong with taking a break from your business, rebranding your business, seeing what works and what doesn't. It's all about, trials and tribulations,
Definitely.
And also there's nothing wrong with like putting your business on hold to get like a day job. Like I work for the city of Phoenix now. So because I have to make money, you know what I mean? I can't just like be living off a dream that does not pay bills. So like, and that in itself is a big deal too, to be qualified enough to work for the city, to get that health benefits that I did not get as an entrepreneur.
Right,
So I just had to be okay, talking, getting what I want, and going after it and seeing something, and not being afraid to fail. I got to be okay with that, because I'm kind of low-key a perfectionist. But like, I have to be okay with failure and learning and life's lessons, and like just being honest, like, hey, sometimes things don't work out because they're not supposed to, period.
Right.
You know, so
there's got to be a yin and yang. There's a balance to everything. Yeah,
exactly.
That's a good one though. I've had people talk about the failure part of it, but not necessarily the talking part. So I like that one. Because a lot of the times, a lot of people out there, they think that us entrepreneurs and business people and even podcast hosts and stuff, they think that we have this certain level of confidence and we're not shy. When man, I always say I'm a selective extrovert.
Yeah, same. That's a good way to put
Like
it.
it depends on the situation, but majority of the time, I'm probably sticking to myself.
Right.
To be honest, like I'm just, and then I'm a thinker too. Like I think a lot, which is good and bad. But yeah. So I enjoy my time when I'm alone as well. But let's keep it going and we got 2 more questions going. So at this moment, it can be for any of the businesses. If you can have anything off of your business wish list. So if it can be the Ganja Girls, the boutique, the social club, any of those, or anything else that you have might be working with. Anything off that business wish list that you would like to put out there in case there's any investors or anybody out there that's like, you know what, I like what she's got going on. Let me here's a check for 10,000. Go ahead and get you a new food truck.
That'd be my miracle. Honestly, a venue, just like a place that's my own that I can like, rent out to people, like, vendors, small entrepreneurs, just like have like a shop where they can, sell their merch, where they don't have to set up and be a vendor and be out in the cold and bring their whole family out there and, work their kids to death when they just want to go home and play with the kids with their friends or whatever. You know what I mean? Like have that like space that, I can throw lowrider events. I can, have the food truck people come out. I can decide to have my smoke shop stuff already out there for people to buy instead of me having to go and travel, blah, 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 like having that designated spot for people to use and be reasonably priced, be safe, not going to be messed with the cops unless they're doing something crazy. I don't mind calling cops on your ass, but like just stuff.
Still got to make
like
sure
that.
you take care of your business.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Just
don't put her business in jeopardy.
Right, that part. Notice, like, highlight that part for real, because that's another huge thing. And just having, the venue and just overall just respect. That would be awesome. Just having like a respect as a business owner and knowing like I'm a business owner. I'm paying everything myself. Like I don't got it. I don't have it all. I may have that confidence that you're talking about. Like that I think that we have it all and that we know everything and that we're like, killing it, but it's a struggle,
Yeah.
And we had to work to get there,
Definitely got to put in. We have to do our own due diligence as well, which is why I remind you guys almost every damn weekend. Do your due diligence. You got to respect the process. But yeah, that's a good one. I would love to see something like that as well for you. Your own vendor spot. I know there's a lot of people in my circle who struggle with that as well, like finding events to go to because the vendor hosts aren't that great or something. There's this person that's always doing stuff, but it's like I don't really like that person and how they run their stuff. So that's a good one. I like that one. I don't think I've ever heard of that one before. And then last but not least, as far as the vendor vision, I know we haven't really talked about that one too much, but would you say, as the host of that podcast, you have a most memorable episode or a guest that you would like to share?
I do, actually. Her name is the first female I've ever interviewed. Her name's Annalise. She owns one of those franchises. I don't know, is that how you call it? Owning a franchise? Yeah, I think. Yeah, owning a franchise with Liberty Tax. And
nice.
It was so refreshing to talk to another woman who felt a need, like she was having some personal issues where she's like, well, now it's on me to help, like, spend for my kids, spend for myself. Like it's just me, and I'm not gonna like get my kids taken away or whatever. I'm not just like let it not just be like give up. You know what I mean? So I think she like walked past like a Liberty Tax saying, "Oh, franchise is available," blah blah, and like she's like, "Oh, like I'm good at math. I can see this. Like let's see what's up." And so she took the class, passed the class, got her the franchise license or however that works, and made that money. Now I think she has like 2 locations. She has like a car wash that's kind of like incorporated. It has like the similar name to kind of like link it together, like how I did my businesses. And seeing someone like, start from the bottom, like rely only on herself and also want to help other women, that's so awesome. Because as much as women like to talk about empowering others and sisterhood and da da da. It is not like that. Girls are mean, and everybody knows it. Girls are so mean, and it's so crazy that I went into a female-driven business and wanting to like help females because I've had some experiences. Let me tell you, and even with my own sister, like me and my sister fight like crazy.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
oh my Lord Jesus, but we're older and we love each other, and then all works out.
You know, I've definitely seen it. I haven't seen it firsthand. Me not being a woman, you know, I definitely haven't seen it firsthand. But I've just noticed sometimes, like I have certain female friends where it's like, okay, I got this female friend and this female friend. They don't get along, but she's only got 4 friends. She's only got 2 friends. Like, what's going on? How come y'all like? I don't have a whole lot of friends, but there's a decent amount of people I'm associated with and I get along with. And then I have female friends. It's like, wow, no, I don't really mess with girls. What do you mean you don't mess with girls? You're a girl.
You're a girl. Yeah.
Like what? Like you would never hear that from men. Like, nah, man, I don't really hang out with dudes.
I know, right?
What do you do then? You hang out with girls? No disrespect, but
yeah, because I think it's about that. I think I don't want to go all like philosophical and stuff, but I feel like society has made it when it specifically comes to women, like you have to compete with each other, even if we don't. Like even if like we're totally doing separate things. Like I just feel like there's about that tension thing. I think it's like a primal instinct that like there's a bunch of chicks and like one dude and they all like fight for his attention, like that type of thing, like in the animal kingdom type thing, like lions and whatnot. But in society, like who's the prettiest, who's the hottest, who's the most like influential, blah blah blah. And it's exhausting being a girl, and it's exhausting because it's really about other girls. Like girls dress for girls, they don't dress for guys. Guys don't care, they're not going to notice what your eyeshadow is or if you have perfect skin that day. Girls do that, and it's just always like trying to one up each other, even if you can start off as like the best of friends, but then there's just like that level sometimes, or like that like the frenemies as they call it.
Yeah.
Oh, they're devils in disguise, man. But yeah, I mean it is what it is, and people are in your life for a reason, and they may or may not be meant to be in your life forever. They're
right.
Just, it's for that time when you needed them, and then you guys part ways, and that's okay.
Yep, exactly. They have to go into finish their own universe, multi-universe over here. Your multiverse goes over there.
Yeah, exactly.
But before we wrap up the wealthy wisdom, I got 2 more questions for you. What would you say is one big misconception about women in the cannabis industry?
Well, it's a little different nowadays, but before COVID, they're not all like half naked women, doing this. We used to call it like the puff puff pass thing, where girls would like all the stories in the Instagrams for all the cannabis communities, where it's like hot girls in their underwear, like smoking a blunt and then passing it to you like virtually, and then like they tag people and then they would have to send the blunt to them, and like it was just like a whole chain of like hot girls smoking and passing. It's like it's like that. There's so much more to that. Like I said, like I mentioned, Women's Grow, those entrepreneurs, badass women that were all around the United States. It was not just in Phoenix. It was everywhere where they own, like I said, like they own dispensaries, not their husband's name, their name,
Nice.
So that the Women's Grow, Pink Kush, and their amazing, awesome events and women empowerment, they had like specific ladies nights, because there are women that have experienced trauma, bad relationships, domestic violence, all that stuff. And they maybe want to go out, but you get a little stoned, get a little loose, that kind of shit. And there's men out there that are predators, period, in any industry, in any life. And they want a safe space where they can go and smoke with their girlfriends and have a good time, get a break from, their kids or their husband or whatever, and not deal with men hitting on them or being gross or whatever. And so they provided that space. They provided that safe ladies' night where it's only ladies allowed. And let me tell you, boys would get so jealous. It's like, bro, you guys get invited everywhere. Like, calm down. We have one night to ourselves. Watch the kids for these people. You know what I mean? Like, stay at home, hang out with your boys, like do what you gotta do. But it's just nice to see that. And then, like I said, like the brand reps and stuff, like that girls, they know, the THC levels of stuff. Like there's smart women out there. There's like scientisty type women. They're not just all about looks. They have brains. They got power. They got money. And it's really important to know that that's part of the cannabis brand too. Not just, hot chicks smoking.
Yes. So you guys get off the social medias and the IG reels, because there's real substance to it. There's real substance. Okay. For someone who wants to start an event business or a nonprofit, what would you say would be the first piece of advice that you would like to give them?
Do everything legally. Do not cut corners. Do not think that you don't need to pay your permits or your insurance, or that's huge. Get your insurance. You want to protect yourself at all costs. You want to protect what you created, your little baby. You don't want someone else to take it from you. And trust me, they will. They will try, but don't let them. So that is my biggest advice to anybody in any industry doing whatever they want to do. Protect yourself. Be smart about it. Do your research, and don't let anybody take anything from you.
That's a good one. That's a really, really good one, because I'm not even going to lie. A lot of the times I do give advice to just go out and do it, but that is also good advice. My advice, you should take that when you're that person like me who's been thinking about it for the last 6 months and haven't really made any moves. That's who I'm talking about when I'm like, just go do it. Just go do it. But if you're going to be strategic and you got your certificates and your ducks in a row and you got the finances and you can do it legally, that is the best way, because you never know. You might blow up overnight. And the next thing you know, if you blow up overnight and you don't have the right credentials, you get shut down the next day, the next night.
And then what?
So, yeah. And then what? And then you got to wait and try to get up some kind of funds somehow to come back legally. If you can even recover from that, if you can bounce back.
Exactly.
But that's going to wrap it up for the Wealthy Wisdom today. We're going to switch it up just a little bit. I don't want this to sound bad at all. You've been giving really, really good questions, but we're just getting a little close on time. So we're going to skip the wacky wealth, which is normally just entertainment. Usually we don't have a lot of gyms in there. That's usually just to fill up some entertainment time. But what is really important is the segment that we're going to skip too, which is one of my favorite segments. If Jimmy was here, it was always his favorite segment. But this is the final segment of the show. This is the We Buildin' Boy. So if you're not familiar with the We Buildin' Boy segment, that is normally when I give the special guest the floor to promote whatever they want to do, whatever they have going on. But first and foremost, before I give Miss Brittany the floor to promote, I do want to announce she is offering all of you guys a great giveaway announcement. Here's the exciting part, folks. Brittany is offering a 10% discount on her services to anyone who mentions this episode. So I'm not sure how strict you want to be about it, but this, just so you know, in full, Wealth for Generations, Season 2, Episode 15, Meet the 5150 Powerhouse. That's the whole title there. Yep. So I'm not sure how strict you want to be about it, but there's your bone, guys. There's your bone. Yeah. So get with her, mention the show, the podcast, and the episode. All you have to do is prove that you follow both of us and subscribe to the podcast. Then you get to win and take advantage of the 10%. And just keep in mind, she is a multi-business owner. So if you're not participating in 420 and you don't want paraphernalia, there's other things she can help you with. She can help you with finding an event space or planning how to do your next vendor pop-up, things of that nature. So definitely reach out to her. But at this moment, I'm going to back off and go ahead and give Brittany the floor. Let her promote whatever she wants to promote. Any events, any other specials you got going on, anything like that. The floor is yours.
So actually today, if you guys aren't doing anything, there is an event. It's on my social media. So if you follow me, you'll see it on there. I'll just see the flyer on my Facebook, on all of my Instagram pages. And TikTok, because I'm on TikTok too, Vendor Vision Podcast. I help with Cindy Lopez. She is doing an event today for the lowrider community. There's going to be lowrider trucks or not lowrider trucks, but lowriders, bag trucks and all that fun stuff, motorcycles, bicycles, vendors, performers. Everything's done on Peoria Avenue. It's from 12 to 5. They're going to have awards and whatnot. And so a special guest, I don't even know who it is. It's all secretive, even though I help with the flyer. So that is what I'm going to be doing. That's going to launch the second season of Vendor Vision Podcast. We're going to be interviewing the vendors out there. So if you are watching this and you happen to be a vendor because it's slow right now or whatever, you're going to get your business promoted and your food tasted and all that fun stuff. And all the local Arizona rappers, a bunch of them are going to be there performing. So make sure to check that out. Other than that, just hit me up on social media. If you need logos, website design, advice on anything, I'm your girl.
And then how would they reach you on social media?
I have a crap ton of accounts. So
what's your most active one? How would they reach you on that one?
okay, other than Vendor Vision podcast, which is a little bit separate than all my 5150 stuff, probably the underscore frenzied underscore female underscore 5150. That's like my entrepreneur page where I promote all my other businesses and stuff. So yeah, that's like my main one. You can follow, or 5150 Conjure Girls with a Z. Either one of those would be great.
And then if you didn't catch any of that or anything, you can go ahead and go through the whole episode. It's okay. You can go through the whole episode again because we dropped the business names multiple times. Just remember the important part though, 5150.
Yes.
But I want to give a huge thank you to Miss Brittany for making sure you got time to come hang out with us today on Wealth for Generations. It is very much appreciated. Thank you for bringing some wisdom, some laughs, and a whole lot of inspiration for all you other women out there. And this is one of those good ones, all right? You other women out there, she wants to work with you guys. She's not going to be like, oh, her?
Yeah, I'll be nice, I swear.
No, she's really into work with you guys. So if you haven't already, make sure that you do follow her social media. Take advantage of the giveaway and make sure you check out the podcast coming back for season 2. Season 2, there we go. I mess up with that all the time. Season 2, she'll be out there getting footage today. So if you want to get in, maybe get one of those side views like that in the background of the shot, just like, oh, my bad.
I was background.
One of those, yeah. Go down to the event. And then before we wrap it up, though, I want to give a round of applause for the reigning champ right now, Mr. James Marrero. Thank you for holding it down, sir. And then before I do give you your applause, would you like to drop your contact information just one more time for the people who didn't get it, people in the back? And it can be either the IG or email or whatever you want to give out.
You can email me at contact@boutique5150.com. BOUTIQUE 5150.com.
All right, and that was for all you guys that had to go take a little pee break real quick and missed the first time. But let's give a round of applause for Miss Brittany, Miss 5150. I almost said it wrong. But yes, thank you for coming down and making some time for us. And last but not least, we got one for you guys. All you guys out there, supporters, followers, and you guys out there, thank you very much. And on that note, peace.